Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Atul, you really had me going. I love your sense of humor. And I'm wondering if already your daughter has not received the gift of being around a dad who's basically cracking up all the time and looking at the lighter side of life, so when the inevitable conflicts come, you have that sense of humor and she knows how to use it. So think about that as part of the dad dilemma. Let me talk about your speech in two phases. One is I'm going to deal with it as a speech, and then a little bit at the end I'll talk about whether you met your speech goals or not, but I don't want the speech goals to really confound the issue. What I liked the most was the delivery. The voices, the pauses, the whisper, the sitting, really just had me entranced. And yet there was a story running through, so the delivery really added to the suspense and the building conflict. The only thing I was a little surprised is I was trying to see where the fence was. There seemed to be a fence here and a fence here. And I was sitting right there, and you hopped over the fence once, but just once. There was this incredible volume to your delivery, this animated, but it was all constrained in this nuclear vessel that seemed to have containment walls. So if we could remove the fence and just walk out a little bit and remove the fence and walk out a little bit, that energy would have been spread so much more. That's the only thing that I would add to the delivery part. With the content, we had this wonderful story about your daughter, and it was really entrancing to me. And as a story, there was a slow build-up, and then the conflict arose. And then, was there a resolution? Because I don't remember hearing a resolution of the story. What I remember is this almost wrenching gear shift into the dad dilemma, and although that was appropriate to the speech, it left me hanging a little bit. So if there's some way to tell us what happened with your daughter and Thomas, some kind of resolution in the context of the story, then I would be ready, or more ready, to receive that message, the moral of the speech. I don't know that you need more than that story. It's just restructuring, adding a little bit, and shifting it in such a way that it really just comes to a close, and then you can come to the next part of it. In terms of the goals of the speech, we have now the balance between the humorous story, and it really was a humorous story. So I say, wow, as a humorous speech, or perhaps as an entertaining speech, this was really great. And then there is this gear shift, and now we have the inspirational part, which I really appreciated the message. You know, respect the women in your life, look at what you're doing, stop the chain of copying from your fathers. Because that's what we do. We listen to our fathers, we kind of imitate it without knowing. Ooh, women tell me they're channeling their mothers. Same kind of thing. And yet, that part didn't allow me to brill to the level of emotion that I would have been moved to act on it. Because you spent so much of the time on the humorous story. If the goal was really to have an inspirational speech in such a way that emotions were engaged, ideals were engaged, and the call to action came, more time, more of the weight to that portion of the speech would have been appropriate. And yet, that sucks, because I hate to take away from this wonderful story where we have your daughter and this and that, so it's almost as if there were two speeches there. And perhaps I want to hear both. I want to hear the respect your women speech, and I want to hear what happened to Anjali and Thomas. Wonderful delivery. Great example for your daughters. May they take that sense of humor and that approach to life and use it to become successful women, both of them. Madam Toastmaster.